Have you ever heard of a man who fought windmills, thinking they were giants? His name was Don Quixote. He was a knight from a very old book, but his story still matters. Don Quixote was more than a comic figure. He was a man with a dream to make the world better. He believed in honor, helping others, and doing what's right even when it's hard. In a world that often forgets these things, we need to remember the knight who still rides in our hearts. His real name was Alonso Quijano, a simple man from a small Spanish village. He read so many stories of knights that he decided to become one himself. People laughed at his old armor and skinny horse, but he didn't care. He had a mission to right wrongs and defend the weak. Don Quixote's story is about the human spirit, the part of us that wants to believe in something bigger. He saw a world that had lost its way, where old ideals were forgotten. Today we face similar challenges, chasing happiness in empty things. Don Quixote reminds us that true happiness comes from living for a noble cause. Let's look at the world through his eyes. His quest is not so different from our own. We all search for meaning and want our actions to matter. Don Quixote's story is a mirror, showing us who we are and who we could be. It asks, are we brave enough to put on our own armor? Are we ready to fight for what is good and true in a world that has forgotten how? The adventure of Don Quixote is our adventure too. Let's begin. To understand Don Quixote, we must understand his world, a Spain where the age of knights was over and ideals were fading. People valued gold over glory, cleverness over courage, and became cynical. The world became a marketplace for personal gain, losing its soul. The books Don Quixote read spoke of honor, justice, and faith, values he saw slipping away. For him, these stories were a blueprint for a better life. He rebelled against the emptiness of his time, longing for something greater. This loss of ideals left people drifting, without purpose or a moral compass. Don Quixote saw a society that traded its spiritual inheritance for comfort and materialism. His so-called madness was a protest against this spiritual poverty. Our own age faces similar confusion, old traditions questioned, meaning lost. Like Don Quixote's world, we risk becoming cynical and believing in nothing. His decision to become a knight was a beautiful attempt to bring meaning back. Sometimes it takes a dreamer to remind us what really matters. People called Don Quixote mad for seeing giants where there were windmills, but his madness let him see the world as it ought to be, not just as it was. He saw greatness in everyone, and justice where others saw only misfortune. His virtues, faith, honor, and respect for all, were the marks of a true knight. Don Quixote's quest was for meaning, not gold or fame. He wanted his life to matter, to leave the world better. This is the deepest human desire, to live for something greater. He teaches us that purpose is found in truth, beauty, and goodness. Even if others saw only comedy, he chose to live a great story. Today we're told faith is foolish and honor outdated, but Don Quixote shows us that true sanity is believing in something beyond ourselves. He is the patron saint of all who dare to dream of a better world. His madness is a challenge to our cynicism. Maybe we need a little of it too. In modern Mexico, we face our own giants, not windmills, but spiritual emptiness and materialism. We chase things, phones, cars, fashion, hoping for happiness, but find only restlessness. Another giant is the loss of identity. Traditions and history are dismissed, leaving many feeling lost. This confusion creates a crisis of meaning. What is the point if we have no roots or higher purpose? Don Quixote felt this hunger and filled it with a noble quest. He believed in chivalry, God, and the power of one person to make a difference. The giants of materialism and confusion promise freedom but deliver emptiness. Don Quixote teaches us to name and challenge these giants, even if we seem small. Our battle is not with people, but with soulless ideas that threaten the human spirit. we must have the courage to stand for what is true and good. Even if the world laughs, we must fight for meaning. The giants of our age can be defeated, but only if we dare to try. When people feel lost, they once turned to the church for guidance. The church was the shepherd, offering spiritual nourishment and clarity. But recently, many shepherds have fallen silent, afraid to speak hard truths. Instead of calling us to greatness, they offered watered-down messages. This silence left a vacuum, quickly filled by loud voices promising easy answers. These voices offered freedom from responsibility and tradition, but led to confusion. A generation grew up without strong spiritual guidance, hungry for truth but fed confusion. The silence of the shepherds was not neutral, it was abandonment. It left the door open for false prophets and destructive ideologies. The result, a society searching for meaning, but finding only emptiness. We need shepherds who will speak with courage again. Into the spiritual vacuum, new ideologies arrived, promising utopia with words like justice and inclusion. But behind these words is a vision that erases differences and destroys meaning. Radical egalitarianism claims all distinctions are oppressive, tearing down tradition and identity. In trying to make everyone the same, it flattens our unique dignity. These ideologies attack family, faith, and culture, leaving us isolated and easy to control. Their real goal is not liberation, but domination of minds and souls. The result is not paradise, but anxiety and disorientation. When there is no truth, only power remains. When there is no God, only loneliness. We have traded our spiritual birthright for emptiness. It's time to see these false promises for what they are and find the courage to resist. How do we fight these modern giants? Not with swords, but with spiritual armor. First, truth. In a world of my truth and your truth, we must stand for objective reality rooted in God. Second, dignity. We must treat every person as a child of God, rejecting anything that degrades body or spirit. Third, fraternity. We are not alone. We must rebuild community and support one another. Finally, faith. Our trust in Christ gives meaning and hope, even when we seem to lose. With truth, dignity, fraternity, and faith, we become knights for our time. This armor never grows old. The battle is spiritual, and so is our strength. We must live these virtues daily. The world needs new Quixotes, people willing to fight for what matters. Our quest begins with the armor we choose to wear. Stand firm and do not be afraid. The world is waiting for heroes. Will you answer the call? What is the quest of a modern Don Quixote? It's all around us, in our homes, schools, and workplaces. Our first task is to live differently, embrace sacrifice, practice humility, and seek silence and prayer. Our lives must challenge the spirit of the age. Our Dulcinea, the lady we defend, is the church, wounded and in need of loyal knights. We fight for her by learning, living, and sharing our faith with courage and love. The giants we face are the lies poisoning our culture. We fight not with anger, but with truth and love, defending life, family, and hope. Every act of virtue is a blow against the giants of our time. This quest is for everyone, not just a chosen few. You don't need fame, just a willing heart. God can use your small acts for great things. Your battlefield is daily life. Your adventure is holiness. The world is waiting for new saints. Will you become a knight for Christ? Don Quixote's story ends in apparent failure. He renounces his quest on his deathbed. But his true victory was in the attempt, in never surrendering his ideals. He lived with passion and purpose, achieving a nobility his neighbors never understood. We may feel our efforts are small, the darkness too great, but our duty is not to win, but to fight faithfully. The dawn will come in God's time, not ours. Keep your armor on, your lance ready, and ride forward, even in darkness. Don't fear being called a fool. The world has always mocked saints and heroes. To be a Quixote today is to embrace divine foolishness, to believe in love, hope, and honor. The world needs thousands of new Quixotes. It needs you. See the giants, the emptiness, the lost. Look into your heart. Find that spark of idealism. Fan it into a flame. Put on the armor of God. Find your humble means and ride out. The great adventure has just begun.